Hello everyone and welcome to A Slice of My Life. This video is all about the Plextone G5 gaming headset, and I've never done a review on a gaming headset ever, but I will try my very best. First of all though, I'd like to thank Plextone for sending this my way. I really did not expect anyone to reach out to me asking me to review a headset, so thank you Plextone for putting this in my hands. I have been using this for the past 2 weeks, and so I've gathered all my thoughts and pointers that I want to share with you guys about the Plextone G5 gaming headset. Now at this point I'd like to share with you guys that I am not by any means a professional audio gear reviewer, but my approach to this is quite different and it may suit you, so I hope that you will hear me out first before deciding whether or not you want to continue watching this video or hop off. Now if you're looking for someone to review this from a very technical audiophile standpoint, then I'm not the guy for you. You may leave this video now. Also, I am not a gamer. I don't play games much, so yeah, if you're looking to hear a review from someone who games a lot, then this is not the video for you as well. I mean, I do play games from time to time, mostly mobile games like Genshin Impact. Yes guys, the truth is out. I actually enjoy Genshin Impact quite a bit, but I actually use this a lot in terms of online video calls. I am a project manager by profession, so you know, that also means that in these current times of the pandemic, it's all remote video meetings and video calls non-stop back to back, and so that will be the main perspective that I'll be bringing in terms of reviewing or giving my thoughts on the Plextone G5. Another thing that I'd like to share with you guys is that some of my passionate hobbies include DJing as well as producing music, so I will be injecting a little bit of my audio preferences from that perspective as well. Okay, now all of that out of the way, here we go. To start things off, I'd like to share with you guys what the box looks like, and this is it. Pretty gamerish, I should say. Plextone G5, you got the Plextone logo here and all around. You got the key USPs or the key selling points about the product, but I think that you guys will be most interested in this section here, which is the technical specifications. And here they are calling out that the speaker size is 40mm. Now, I think that's a driver size. I'm not so sure. Well, speaker size, driver size may be the same thing to me. Please educate me guys, because I don't know any better, so I must apologize if I'm making a mistake here. It also uses Bluetooth 5.0, impedance is 32 ohms, and the battery capacity is 450 milliamperes. And although it says here colors black and gray, this one here obviously is black and orange, so that also basically tells you that the other colorway available is black and gray. And inside the box, well, yeah, I've already unboxed it guys, so yeah, inside the box you will find this headset itself and a couple of cables that I have right here. The first one here is a USB-A to USB-C cable, and this is essentially the charging cable, which is cool because it's USB-C. And then next you will find a pretty standard audio cable here. This is a TRS 3.5mm headphone jack cable, male on both ends, and this is used for a wired connection. And last but not least is this is the ENC detachable microphone. The Plextone G5 is an over-the-ear wireless headset, so yeah, your ear basically sits in there, or at least that's a target, and this sits over your ear or around your ear. And one of its key features is the ability to fold it up. So yeah, it folds up just like that. This is one of the few wireless headsets that has the ability to fold. And of course, being a headset, this needs some adjustability, so you'll be happy to find that there are 8 steps of adjustability on each side of the headphones. Now the overall construction is made mainly of plastic, as you can see, black plastic all around over the headband, the top part as well. Everything except for the leather cushion here on the top of the headband, or I should say the bottom of the headband, and the ear cups itself. And talking about the cushioning on the top of the headband, this is a faux leather cushioning. It is quite comfortable, I gotta say. So speaking about cushioning, let's move into the ear cups, and these are some plush ear cups right here. Like I mentioned, these are over the ear headphones, so it sits around your ears, and these are actually quite comfortable. I wear them for long hours, at least 4 hours each session on a daily basis guys, no kidding. Sometimes 2 sessions per day, depending on how many meetings I have lined up for myself. And yes, they do get a little bit warm, but it is not an issue for me. I'm used to wearing headphones for long hours. But for those of you who don't have experience with over-the-ear headphones, then yeah, these might get a little bit too warm for you. Now, the overall build quality is not bad as well. It can stretch quite a bit, and you can torque it side to side. And as you can hear, or rather, as you can't hear, because yeah, it's silent, there isn't any creaking, so that is a plus point. The only thing here is that it doesn't swivel. Like, I mean, the ear cups don't actually swivel from left to right, you know, when comparing it to some other headphones or headsets out there. So in terms of that, it is quite rigid there. But overall construction, like I said, is plasticky, but it is very, very light. Now let's take a look at the overall aesthetics of the headphones. And on the sides, you will see the Plextone logo on the sides of the ear cups, and this is in orange. And then you've got these orange colored motifs, I suppose, like around the ring here, and these don't light up even though they look like they will. Then moving up a little bit, you will find a very clear marking on which side to orientate yourself. So this here is the left and right ear cups respectively. And the last thing I have to say about the aesthetics is that I like the fact that the inner lining of the ear cups are in orange, and they are almost the same shade as the orange featured around this outer ring. I really like this. Now the orange printed on the side here seems a little bit darker, the orange color of the Plextone logo as well as the orange printing of the model and some of the other specs here. These are a little bit, how should I say this, like it seems like a pretty reddish hue of orange, but yeah, I mean overall it's quite cool. Black and orange, I like this color combination. Then moving up here, you will find like a different sort of texture of that black plastic. The main part of the headband features a two-tone sort of finish with a slight texture on one finish and a really smooth, very reflective sort of detailing, I suppose, like some accents here. So all in all, you have 3 different finishes of black plastic on this headphones. Now let's move on to the features of the G5, and all the features are actually kind of focused on just the left ear cup. So as you can see, the right ear cup here is totally clean. There's really nothing happening here, so everything's just focused here on the left ear cup. So let me just fold this up so it's easier for me to handle within the frame. Don't know why I didn't do that earlier, but yeah, not too late now. Okay, I like to point out that there is a little hole here, and this hole is actually for a microphone that is built into the left ear cup. So basically, yes, you can use this with this built-in microphone if you don't want to use the detachable microphone. Now moving on to the bottom here, you will find 2 ports. One port with a microphone logo and one port with a headphone logo. And the headphone marking here is for you to connect your TRS cable or that audio cable, and you can basically just connect this here into whatever audio source you want to, so that you could use this as a regular set of headphones. And I think that's a really good plus point because you could still use this even if the battery is flat. You don't need battery charge, you don't need to turn it on. You could just basically connect this and use it straight away. And I don't know why, but I've basically just articulated the same point twice. I'm sorry guys. Now going back here to the microphone port, you will see that the port is slightly different in terms of shape, and that is to allow you to attach the detachable microphone. Now you can see that the slot here on that connector point matches up with this slot here, and so it goes in just like that. And once it is seated in there, you won't be able to rotate it, which is a good thing because you want a stable connection at that point. But here, of course, the microphone itself is adjustable, but it's not the greatest in terms of adjustability. However, if you fiddle with it enough, then you will be able to get it to your desired position, and you want to aim this spot here as close as possible to your mouth, because yeah, that's where your voice goes in, right? That's where the receiver is. I mean, the microphone is the microphone receiver. And so yeah, that is the detachable microphone. Now moving along, next you will find the charging port right here, and like I mentioned just now, I'm very happy that this is a USB-C charging port. And speaking about the battery, since we're talking about charging, a full charge takes about 4 hours, and the total listening time as listed by Plextone is 36 hours of listening time at about 40% volume. Then next to the charging port, you will find 3 physical buttons, and these are actually pretty tactile. And these are of course the volume down, power and volume up buttons respectively. And the power button is also known as the function button. So let's now first talk about my experience with the operation of the Plextone G5. Operating this is very simple and very straightforward. You press and hold down the power button for 2 seconds and the headset turns on. You hear a very obvious ringtone-ish kind of power up sound, and I should say that the pairing process is really simple and straightforward as well. But once it is connected to a device, you will hear a beep sound, and that beep sounds like when you're pressing a number on a dial. That literally, it's that sort of beep. Then it's really strange because when you're powering down, you're gonna have to press and hold the power button, and you're gonna have to estimate about 2 seconds before letting go, because the power down sound doesn't kick in until you release the button. So that's a little bit strange in terms of the overall user experience. When you want to adjust the volume using the buttons here, you're gonna have to press and hold the respective volume button if you want to turn the volume up or down respectively, but make sure that you press and hold it and you don't tap it, because tapping the buttons on the G5 are to switch between the next and previous tracks that you're listening to, which honestly I found a little unintuitive. So yeah, that's something you'll have to take note of. The next thing that I want to point out is that this features a low latency mode. So when you're, say for example, watching videos with this connected via Bluetooth, you'll have a very noticeable latency or lag. And so like I mentioned, one of the key features that the G5 has is a low latency mode, and you turn that on by double tapping the power button, and then you will hear a really how should I say this, a really obnoxious tone before you go into the low latency mode. And I have to say that yeah, the low latency mode really works. The sync between the video that you'll be watching and the audio that you hear is going to be much better, to a point that realistically there isn't much of a lag at all. But it does something really funky to the audio quality. Now the microphone's here. Let me just try and see if I can get that obnoxious ringtone for you guys to hear. Let me just detach the microphone first. I'm gonna try to keep the left ear cup in frame while I use the right ear cup and put this as close as possible to the microphone, and hopefully you guys can hear that sound. And I don't know, maybe adjusting the length might help. Let's see. Powering on. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard that. And then, yeah, I failed to mention there is an LED indicator here, and that is to indicate to you things like connectivity status, charging status, etc. And I believe that that's going to be quite straightforward. And now I'm going to double tap this and turn on the low latency mode. Here we go. Prepare yourselves, guys. So yeah, that's turning on the low latency mode, and you'll hear this tone when you turn it off by double tapping again. And then I'm gonna power it down now, so press and hold for a few seconds and let go. Check it out. Okay, so that didn't work. Again, that didn't work. There we go. Okay, so it feels like now I'm just gonna press and hold it, and just hold it until I hear that tone. So whatever I said about having to estimate 2 seconds and letting go, well, that's iffy at this point, and I'm not going to be spending my time trying it out again. So yeah, just take whatever I said with a little pinch of salt. So yes, moving back to that low latency mode that I turned on and off for you guys. Once you turn it on, basically you will hear only just that ringtone and nothing else. It just cuts off all other audio that's being played, and it'll just play that ringtone, and then it'll do something really funky to the audio quality. I mean, yes, it reduces all that lag, all of that latency, but then you'll get something that sounds like this strange reverb, like a plate echo kind of thing that's happening. I don't know. I've read online that some people call that the surround sound or white sound feature, but to me that is the low latency mode, because I read it in the user manual that I failed to mention to you guys. It comes with this box as well. Here's the user manual. So yeah, the experience with the low latency mode is one of the key experiences I wanted to share with you guys. Now let's go a little bit deeper into audio quality, since we were on that topic. Now the audio quality coming out of this 40mm speakers or 40mm drivers here, like I said, please correct me if I'm wrong, I have to say that it is actually pretty decent in the standard mode, not the low latency mode. And when I say standard, I mean standard Bluetooth connection, or when you use the wired connection. I wasn't expecting the audio quality to be that decent to my ears, at least. To be more precise, right? To my ears at least, it sounds like all of the highs are a little bit muted and a little bit soft, and all of the lows, especially on the deeper end of things, are also really soft, which leaves the mids, and the mids are really obviously clear. So it's a little bit strange. It feels like the mids are much stronger, more pronounced. Pardon my lack of a better way of explaining this. It feels like the frequency right smack in the middle of the mid and lows is the area where it's a little bit boosted. Now I don't know if boosted is the right word to be using here, because yeah, it doesn't sound overpowering, but it's a lot more pronounced in that range. So when you're listening to music, regardless of genre, vocals are gonna sound really much clearer. High frequency sounds, like for example the hi-hats of drums, are gonna sound slightly softer, and when you're listening to, say for example, a bass drum or kick drum, you're gonna hear the higher frequency sounds of it. How should I say this? Kick drums are gonna sound a lot more punchy, but if you're listening to bass heavy music, like for example trap or future bass or anything with a really strong deep sub bass, then you're not gonna feel the power of the sub bass. It's gonna sound quite mild. So if you're looking to get a set of headphones that provides you a really strong bass, then this is not it. But I will say that overall it is quite clear, and I am surprised at the overall sound quality of this. I was expecting something really crappy because of the price point, and I haven't mentioned to you guys the price point yet, but we will get there very soon. Personally, I like a very neutral sounding headphones, because when producing music, neutral sound is the best in my opinion. But if I'm listening to music, like if I just want to enjoy music, then I like a slightly boosted low range and a slightly boosted high range, so it's kind of that U-shaped kind of EQ. I mean, I hope you guys know what I'm saying. Maybe I'm just not articulating myself very well, but basically that's the overall sound quality of this from my perspective. And I will say again that the low latency mode just throws sound quality out the window and gives it a really weird sounding, weird spatial, reverbish, echoey kind of thing. But if you can deal with that, then that's fine. So yeah, that's my opinion from a very layman perspective. So to wrap things up, because I use the G5 mainly for taking a lot of online calls. Audio quality is perfectly fine. You could hear other people's voices loud and clear because that range there is nicely boosted in my opinion. No complaints there, no complaints there at all. Onto the microphone, and this is where I have a lot of gripes. So I think the best way to go about this part and talking about the microphone, whether it's this detachable microphone here or the microphone built in into the left ear cup here, the best way in my opinion to illustrate things to you guys is to show you guys a demonstration. This is the audio quality from my phone's microphone, and my phone is an iPhone 13 Pro. I've got the fan running in the background, so there should be some ambient noise being picked up, and I'm just gonna be typing some random stuff on my keyboard. This is my keyboard sound, and I'm just, giving you an example of what it sounds like from the audio directly from the phone itself. For comparison, this is the audio quality from another pair of Bluetooth in-ear earbuds, kind of, but it's a Samsung Galaxy Buds Live that I have in my ears right now. And again, the fan is running in the background, and I'm gonna just be typing random stuff on the keyboard. And I don't know how the sound quality is like when I process everything, but this is it. I'm just rambling now because it's really weird hearing my own voice in my ear as I'm talking to the camera. So that's, yeah. This is the audio quality from the Plextone G5 using the internal built-in microphone that's located right here on the left ear cup. Again, the fan's running in the background, and I have my keyboard next to you, so I'm just going to be typing stuff here just to see it up. And I guess the sound isolation is a lot better. This is sound comparison of the Plextone G5 built-in microphone. And you just tap. I don't know if it's picking up that kind of sound. Yep. And this is the sound test of the Plextone G5 using the detachable ENT microphone. So just tapping here. In comparison to using the built-in microphone instead with my tap. It should be, I guess, not like this if I was to pop the microphone here instead of over here. But once again, the fan is running in the background and the keyboard in front of me, so I end up typing stuff. And basically that's it. Yeah, this is all of the sound test all wrapped up right now. So I hope that you enjoyed it. Let's head back to the main part of the video. And welcome back. So yeah guys, my personal opinion on both of these microphones, this one here and this one here, is that they suck. For full transparency, when I'm on a call or an online video conference meeting, the sound output of my call is always set to the G5, but the microphone is always set to the laptop or my device's native built-in microphone because the sound quality there is way better than the sound quality of either of the G5's microphones, unfortunately. To some of you, I'm sure that after hearing my sound demonstration, it may be acceptable to you, but it just isn't for me. Now going back to the main target audience of the Plextone G5 wireless gaming headset, if you're using this for gaming, in my opinion, in my very honest opinion, I think the audio quality is going to be quite okay, but I can't say the same about the latency. Yeah, to mitigate that, of course, you could turn on the low latency mode, but then that creates a really strange sound, especially if you're, say, for example, going to be playing an FPS shooter. I don't know how much that echoey sound is going to affect you, but definitely if you're going to be playing an FPS shooter, you cannot afford lag in terms of that latency of sound, right? But if it's just like, I guess, playing something really casual, or if you don't really care about the lag or latency, then yeah, just use it in the original mode, not the low latency mode, and the sound quality will be a-okay. For the microphone though, yeah, I really don't know. But because this is wireless, if you're going to be hopping onto an app, say for example like Discord, then naturally because of the Bluetooth connection, whenever you hop into a voice chat channel in Discord, it is going to be treated like a standard call, which means that the audio coming out will be only from that channel and you won't be able to hear your game running in the background. I mean, of course, if you're savvy enough, I'm sure you could have your own other software to mitigate this situation, but if you don't, that's something you should take note of as well. Alternatively, if you're not going to be using the microphone here, then yeah, you could consider also using the headphones in the wired connection. And I'm mentioning that because if you connect this wired connection, there is no microphone being connected at all. You notice it is a TRS connection. Let me just bring the cable back in. It is a TRS cable, not a TRRS cable, so yeah, it's only for audio, not for microphone, unfortunately. But yeah, basically doing that will save you all your problems. No more latency, no more worries about not being able to hear your game in the background when you're on a Discord voice channel. But yeah, you know, then it defeats the whole purpose of this being wireless in the first place, right? So yeah, decisions. Now yeah, regarding the Bluetooth connectivity, Plextone states that the range goes up to 10 meters, and I honestly didn't test out going anywhere beyond 5 meters because, I mean, if you're using this for gaming, then you'll be relatively near your console, PC or device, so that shouldn't really be a problem for you. However, I should say that it works fine. I didn't find any sort of interference moving around the house. The last thing now to put on the table is the price point. This guy right here is actually retailing at 33 Singapore dollars. That's just under 25 US dollars, which in my opinion, for everything that you get, like these two cables, the detachable microphone, and of course the headphones with the built-in microphone here, and the onboard functions, it is foldable, it is adjustable. So again, for 33 Singapore dollars, I would say that this is actually pretty solid value for money. It's just that the main downside here is the mic quality, but I believe that if you have your mic settings done just right, like boosting the gains and adjusting this part here to be as close as possible to your mouth, then yeah, you know, it's gonna be passable. I mean, like for me, I'm gonna say that it sucks, but at least you know it is possible for others on the other end of the call to still hear you. And yeah, those are all my thoughts about the Plextone G5 from a non-gamer, non-professional audio reviewer perspective. And that is it, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking all the way throughout and sharing in this slice of my life. If anything that I've shared has gotten you interested in the Plextone G5, make sure that you check out the links in the description box down below. But please take note that the links are to Plextone's Shoppee Singapore web store, so if you guys are actually looking to purchase a Plextone G5 and you're not within Singapore, then all you gotta do is just hop on Amazon or just Google it, and I bet you'll find it because yeah, they are quite popular. They've released some pretty solid headphones in the past, and this is one of the many products that Plextone has to offer. I hope that you enjoyed this video today, and if you did, I hope that you will consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, hello there, welcome. And if you're not subscribed, I hope that you will consider subscribing. But if I did not earn your sub today, that's okay. I promise I will continue working on the quality of my content, and hopefully one day I will earn that sub. Another great way to support the channel is over on Patreon. I'll put a link up in the corner in case you want to check it out. We have patron exclusive content as well as patron exclusive giveaways from time to time. So if you do become a patron of mine, thank you so much in advance. It really means a lot to me. And once again, thank you so much Plextone for sending this over to let me check out and review from a very different perspective and standpoint than what your target audience is meant to be for this particular headset. Please guys, let me know what you think of this review video. It is something very different for me. I've not reviewed any audio product before on this channel, and I don't know if I ever will continue reviewing audio products because this is neither a tech nor audio peripherals channel. And like I said right at the start of the video, I am by no means any sort of expert in the audio realm, but I'd love to hear what you guys thought of this video overall. And I will catch all of you in my next slice. Bye!